The Morgan Report with David Morgan.
David Morgan of themorganreport.com for the week ending 31 March 2023. I'm recording this on Saturday morning, April Fool's Day. Well, first up from Forbes, why is gold price increasing in 2023? Anyone that listens to this channel knows darn well why it is. What I want to point out here is gold's expected to outperform in 2023. That's what we also think. Domestic market for gold has given an average return of 13% in the last 5 years, reinstating the commodity's resilience to economic shocks and turbulent global events. Something that you won't hear very much at all in the mainstream financial press. And a fact, gold is to preserve your wealth. It can make you wealthy at times when there is let's say, an overshoot like happened in late December, early mid-January 1980. In December, gold was trading at 300, I think, when I got the contract, and it peaked out at like 875 in the front month. So that would be a wealth builder, definitely, but it's a timing issue. For long-term investment purposes, you want to have gold long-term, and in the long term, it does do what it's supposed to do. All right, next up from CBC News, Saskatchewan. First Nations lay claim to all critical minerals and rare earth elements in Saskatchewan. This is typical of the resource wars that we're actually in. Very few people acknowledge it, but oil has been the number one most important commodity out there. And of course, the mineral sector is also extremely important. What you see here is an aerial view of the Kamiko mine in northern Saskatchewan. And you can read the article. I encourage you to do. I'll try to tweet it out so I leave it available for everyone. This is going to continue not only for the First Nations, but globally. There'll be deposits of rare earths or copper, whatever, and the nations that own it or have it in their jurisdiction, I should say, will become more and more adverse to having others enter and take it. And it will still continue. NAFTA hasn't gone away, but I do think there'll be more resistance and probably increase in the tax rate for anyone taking out minerals. This is a shout out to Visual Capitalists. They've done so much in the financial markets over the years, and some are basically stunning. And it's usually a graphic or a pictorial form, and it's really easy to understand. So this one is which countries hold the most U.S. debt, foreign holders of U.S. debt. If you look at the graphic, what you find is Japan, China, and these other countries. Of course, the UK has a pretty good bite. South America, Brazil is the leader. Saudi has a fair amount. But look at Japan, 1.1 trillion. China about 9.9 trillion. Very interesting. You look over in Europe, UK number one, as I said. Belgium's right up there. Luxembourg. Ireland's got a substantial amount. So that's our counterparty with the U.S. bond market. Well, somewhat good news for silver investors. Silver shines bright with a near 2-month high as gold rebounds. Silver has actually outperformed gold on the gold-silver ratio, but the ratio is so high, it's now, I think, 82 as of Friday. Regardless, it is starting to move, and it will continue. And in a strong bull market, silver outperforms. So, of course, gold, in my opinion, has been doing pretty much what I've expected at this point in the downturn of the global financial system. But silver certainly has not kept pace with gold, as we all know. However, it will play catch up and exceed as things deteriorate further. And a quick word about platinum. I've been talking platinum now for a few months. Implat CEO forecast a squeeze in the platinum group metals industry, forcing a new collaboration. This is from Mining MX. You can read the article. Implat CEO Nico Muller said that the structure of South Africa's platinum group metals industry could change, owing to a squeeze in processing capacity that would force miners to equity finance new expansion or form joint ventures. There's a real power problem in South Africa, among a lot of political problems. And they will continue to increase, in my opinion. unfortunately, which is good for a platinum investor because it'll be harder to mine going forward, which means any new demand will put a squeeze on the market. Anyone in the platinum market, I think, should read this article. Implants is currently bidding for control of Royal Bankford Platinum. Mueller said today if it didn't achieve outright control of the asset, it was a sensible option to sell into an offer from NP if one materialized. And I'm going to wrap it up there. The new issue of the April edition of the Morgan Report has been posted. Did an interview with Franklin Sanders, long-term silver advocate and wonderful human. Very good friend of mine, I consider him to be. And a lot is happening in the political realm, as we all know. So I'll leave it there. I'll be back with you next week. This is David Morgan of the Morgan Report, signing off.